Dr. Sabari, PPT is loading.
Okay, sir. So meanwhile, I'll introduce you, sir, to the audience.
Okay. Okay.
Good morning, all. We have Dr. Sivakumar with us, and he is a professor and in entrepreneurship cell, a department of Madurai Kamaraj University, and he is also taking care of HOD in charge of another department in MK University, and he is a person with excellent interpersonal skills and optimistic approach. He is having 22 years of academic experience. He is an accredited trainer to conduct entrepreneurship development programs by certified Center for Entrepreneurship Development and Tamil Nadu Corporation of Development for Women. He has authored many books and developed e-content for various courses. He has conducted a number of FDPs, workshops, and invited talks to several universities. So thank you for accepting our invitation and joining with us today. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you have prepared a huge content.
Thank you for the opportunity given to me.
Right.
I sent the PPT. Yeah. I sent the PPT to your mail.
Okay.
Have you received, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, now I received.
So totally, how many participants are there?
In Zoom room, we have 22 participants, sir. And in YouTube link, around 30 participants are watching.
Okay, right.
It's opening.
You can go for F5 full screen. Okay. Dr. Sabari, who will operate it?
It, sir. I'm doing it, sir.
Okay, okay. So very good morning, participants. I'm really glad to meet you all today. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers of this particular program. And I want to thank the management of PSNA College of Engineering and Technology also. So I am Professor Sivakumar from the Kamaraj University. I'm a professor in the Department of Entrepreneurship Studies and also holding the additional charge of HOD in charge in Commerce Department. I believe that for the past 5 or 6 days, you are receiving a lot of contents regarding supply chain management. Today, the topic I have chosen for my presentation is startups in supply chain management. Okay, so how many of you are well versed with the term startup? I believe everybody know about what is startup. because government of India is taking a lot of initiative towards developing these startup initiatives, and that is a slogan called as Start India. Okay, how like this Clean India or made in India, like that. There is a slogan Startup India. So startup is a very popular word today. So startup need, it's not a complete established unit of business, but it may idea, a small idea, which may be developed into a fruitful idea later with the help of some stakeholders. And in the screen, you are seeing a slide regarding the startup. Okay, so all the startup start with an idea, then that ideas will be converted as a plan. Then we have to create a team, and then we have to think about the investment opportunities, and we have to analyze the trend, and we have to identify various resources for our startup. Then we have to formulate the strategy, and finally that idea will be converted into a product. Okay, so normally startup is an idea. Okay, so that idea will be nurtured by some other people, maybe the other stakeholders, to convert it into as a complete business. Okay, so in the second slide, you are seeing a difference between the startup and an entrepreneur. Okay, so we should not confuse with the two terms, startups and entrepreneurship. Okay, so here I gave four differences between startup and entrepreneur. In startup, there is no marketplace. Okay, since it's an idea stage, there will be no marketplace. But in the entrepreneurship, there will be a marketplace. Okay, so because the in entrepreneurship we start the business and then we think about the development of the business. But in the startup, we will be in the idea development stage, idea screening stage, and there will be no marketplace. Okay, and there will be no customers in the stage of startup. But in the stage of entrepreneurship, we will be having customers. And third one is customer inquiries will be, there will be no customer inquiries in startup because there will be no customers. Okay, but in entrepreneurship we'll be having the customer inquiries. And last one is there is no initial capital in startup. They are looking for the investment from some other stakeholders or interested people. Okay, but in the entrepreneurship, initial capital will be there. Okay, it's already started, so there will be a initial capital. So this particular slide is giving an idea about the difference between the startup and entrepreneur. Okay, next slide. So this slide is giving an overall idea about startup ecosystem. So ecosystem means the surrounding things or the neighborhood things which is available, which is supportive to a particular system. Okay, here we are seeing the startup ecosystem. Normally the startups will be an idea or invention and research. Okay, and how these stakeholders are helping the startup, it is totally called as startup ecosystem. You can see various stakeholders, who are ready to support the startup, maybe the big companies or support organizations or some educational institutions like universities, and funding organizations, service providers, or some research organizations. Most of them are ready to support the startup. Okay, and the startup ecosystem is having various stages, maybe the idea, invention, and research, startup at various stages, entrepreneurs, startup team members, investors, mentors, advisors, other entrepreneurial people, people from related organizations may be also part of this startup ecosystems. All these stakeholders, they will be ready to support a good idea. See, all idea are not good, but the selective ideas which is possible to be implemented can be taken up, and these stakeholders will help the investor, the person who is willing to start the business, to convert that startup into a established business unit. Next slide. So now we are coming to the core idea of this particular program. What is supply chain? You heard many definitions about supply chain so far in the various classes happened already. And the flow of material, information, money, and services from raw material suppliers through factories and warehouse to end customer. Okay, so supply where it starts means actually it starts from the raw material stage. Okay, and start completed in the end of customer. Okay, starting from the raw material to the reach of the end product to the customer, we can say all the stages are coming under this supply chain. Okay, you can see in the diagram, starting from the supplier, then factory, then warehouse, then distribution, and finally it is coming to the end user. Okay, so if there is a small misunderstanding or small delay in this particular chain, definitely the product will not reach the end user. If the product is not reaching the end user in the appropriate time, it will be considered as a failed product. Okay, even though the product itself is a good product, but it is not available to the end user at the right time, that product is a waste element. Okay, so it is our duty to take the product in the proper channel to the end user at the right time. So that is the main objective of supply chain management. Next slide. So this slide is giving various partnership ideas and who are all the people involved in this supply chain management like that. Okay, so procurement area, then inventory control, logistics, product life cycle management, preferential pricing, and lead times, demand management. These are all the various activities we have to involve in this supply chain management, or otherwise the supply chain management function will not properly flow. Okay, so these are the various areas. Procurement means procuring the raw materials, from where we have to procure the raw materials. And regarding inventory control, what all the stocks available already, and what all the what all the stocks available already, and what all the uh, inventory required for the process of production and other things. And logistics, which means normally the freight coming inwards and supply of other supply materials, raw materials, which is enhancing the production process. So all the things, like the transportation and other things. And the product life cycle management, because every product is having a life cycle, and the requirement must be met within that life cycle period. If you take more time in this production process, the product life cycle may be mismatched with the end user. So we have to put everything in the proper cycle, proper time, and proper management. And preferential pricing and lead times, these are all the time and pricing factor which is relevant to the production process. And demand management. Okay, so when there is a demand for a product, we must able to supply that particular product within that demand closes. If you supply the product after the demand closes, there is no use. Okay, so demand and supply are two equal parts we have to consider. When there is a demand, we must able to supply the product. Okay, so that is the main objective of supply chain management. Next slide. Next slide, please.
Can you see, sir?
Previous one. Yes. Okay. So this particular picture is showing the supply chain management flow. Okay. So why it is called as chain means it is interlinked. Each and every activity is interlinked with the own activity. So supply chain management flow means all the activities must be properly connected. Like chain. Okay, so in that sense only we call it as a supply chain, and how it is flowing from the starting point to the end user. Okay, you are seeing a lot of stages in this. Okay, mm, sales and product development. You can see that stage may be the first stage. Okay, normally in marketing, the main purpose.
Sir, Sivakumar sir. Sir, unable to hear your voice, sir.
Are you able to hear me? Am I audible?
Now audible, sir. Now I can hear.
Okay. So these are all the different stages in the supply chain management flow, and it starts from the sales and product development. Okay, whenever we are supposed to develop a product, first thing is we have to think about the end user requirements. Okay, the customer need and want. So based on that, who will identify this? Definitely the marketing team will identify the need and want of the customers, end users. Okay, based on that we have to develop the product, the idea. Then based on that idea we have to procure the raw materials, what are the things required to create that particular product as a visible one. Okay, then that procurement will be supplied through the suppliers. All the raw materials will be supplied through the various suppliers. Before going for the suppliers, you have to analyze who is giving the particular raw material in a very a comfortable price, or who will supply the raw material on time. Everything we have to think about, and based on that we have to choose the suppliers. Okay, that suppliers will bring the raw materials to the manufacturing unit. Okay, in manufacturing it will whenever the requirement is there, they have to supply the raw materials based on the need. Okay, at proper time, at the right time, they are supposed to supply the raw materials. Okay, then in warehouse, after manufacturing the thing, we are putting all the thing in a warehouse. We are keeping it in the storage, as a storage. Okay, and then the next stage is logistics, transporting the finished product, okay, from the warehouses to the various destinations. So various destinations means it may be through road or rail or air. Okay, depend upon the, for example, that particular product is a it may be exported to some other country, means we have to go by either ship or by plane. So that's the main. But if it is in the local, they are supplying within the local geographical location, you can choose either road or rail. So logistics have to be planned like that, and finally the product will be reaching the end user. That's the customers. Okay, and finally the profit will be shared to the shareholders and other things. Okay, so this is the flow of supply chain management. So this is the entire process in supply chain management. As a startup owner, we have to think about what are all the various possibilities available in each and every stage here to become an to start a startup relevant to supply chain management. Okay, for example, sales and product development in the initial stage, you can start your business like this. You can start a marketing research company, and you can do a research, and you can supply the data to the company regarding the requirements of the customers. Okay, so it's a small startup idea. And in procurement, you can see what all the various things available. You can prepare a quotation, you can prepare uh, a chart or some other thing to the company. Okay, all the things you can outsource. The company can outsource to the different people. You can act as a startup outsource member to help the particular company. Okay, then in suppliers, manufacturing, warehouse, logistics, and consumers, shareholders. So we have to identify in each stage what is the possibility to do a small business under this particular chain. Okay, so that is the main purpose of this presentation. Next slide. Next one, next one. So this is previous one. You go for the next one. Okay. So this particular slide is also giving you a very good outline about supplier, how the process is going, traveling from the supplier to the consumer. Okay, supplier, procurement, production, assembling, retailer, distribution, and consumer. Okay, so what are other things which is governing or influencing this supply chain process is the supply concepts, the network planning, logistics audit, layout planning, material staging design, resource and performance planning, warehouse logistics, transport optimization, distribution logistics, material flow optimization, spare parts logistics, lean logistics. All these things are the various ideas we have to incorporate when we are the supply chain flow is going. Okay, so then only our cost, we can minimize the cost in the supply chain management, or otherwise the cost will be more, and that cost will be implemented or influence the price of the particular product. Okay, we have to be very careful in planning these kind of activities in supply chain management. Next slide. So here I want to show one data from 2013 to 2018 regarding the vertical split of startups, various startups. So in this different startups for the 5 years from 2013 to 2018, we can see for logistics and transport, nearly 5% of startups were there. Okay, it's a good percentage. So logistics and transportation is coming into supply chain management. Okay, so where there is more opportunity for the startups, they can go for their own transport company, or they can have a small warehouses. Okay, or they may be having a small place where the stocks can be placed for some time. They can hold the stock for some time, like that. Okay, and logistics and transport is having nearly 5% of a contribution of in the 2013-18 startups. Other areas you can see enterprise softwares, fintech, maybe the finance, marketplace, health tech, ed tech, logistics and transport. That is this area. Industrial and management, consumer software, food tech, HR technology, retail technology, and others. Okay. Try to understand the percentage of logistics and transport is 5%. This is the data belonging up to 2018, and now we are in 2020. Definitely, I believe this 5% may increase up to 7 or 8%, or even 10%. Okay, so that shows there is a lot of opportunity for the startups in the supply chain management area. Next slide. So this particular slide is giving an idea about what are the various opportunities to start the business, maybe the startups regarding supply chain management, and who are all the operators already available in that area. Okay, a lot of companies, most of them are startups, those who are involved in this supply chain management business. You can see digital freight shipping, and you can see a lot of companies like Flexport, Freight Hub, containers, iContainers, Fleet, Shipabo, Freightos, Zenita, okay, Intra, Freight Waves. Okay, we may not hear these kind of companies' name. It is not coming in the commercial ads and other things, but they are doing the business. Okay, probably most of them may be the startups, and they are doing their own business in a small way, and they are helping the supply chain management flow. Okay, digital freight shipping. Digital freight shipping means just they will work from the office. Okay, they will manage the entire freight of shipping and other things through digital mode. Okay, so it is a very easy startup. Then sensors and asset tagging. For this area, we are having a lot of companies like Scandit, Omni ID, Savvy, and Alien, etc. Okay. Then inventory management, you can see a lot of startups, Trade Jeco, Optaro, Relax, Select, Nextile, etc. Okay. For blockchain, okay, blockchain means through the supply chain management, we should able to enhance the flow without any block. Okay, so for that kind of business, some companies like Filament, Ship Chain, Provisions, and Food Logic, Modem, etc. are there. And food supply chain, we are having companies like Clear Labs, Full Harvest, Appeal Sciences, Blue Wrap, like that. Okay, food supply chain management and supply chain and logistic analytics. Okay, this is another area where is opportunities are there for startups. Clear Metal, Shipomax, Project 44, Risk Methods, Four Guides, Haven, or some of the companies which is engaging in the supply chain and logistic analytics. And another area is trucking, marketplace, and fleet management. You can see a lot of companies like Revigo, RoadSmart, Convoy, uh, and Smart Drive, etc. So then warehousing, River Systems, Fetch, Flex, Gray Orange, Seagrid, Takeoff. So these are all some companies engaging in the warehouse business. And enterprise resource planning is another area where is a lot of opportunity for the startups in supply chain management. And Exostar, Bright Fuel, Infor, Arena, Elementum, or some of the companies engage in this enterprise resource planning. E-commerce logistics, ShipBob, Shippo, and Conway, Ecom Express, okay, Happy Returns, for some companies are there, and many more companies are there. Autonomous trucking, okay. So some companies like Embark, Kodiak, etc. are there, and last mile and AV and drones. Okay, so Zipline, Marble, Starship, Neuro, Boxbot are some of the companies engaging in this kind of activities. Last mile delivery services, we are having Postmates, Fetcher, Glovo, etc. Okay, so why I am giving this particular information to is already a lot of startups are working relevant to the various activities relevant to supply chain management, like digital freight shipping, sensor and asset tagging, inventory management, blockchain, food supply chain and logistics analytics, trucking, marketplace and fleet management, warehousing, enterprise resource planning, e-commerce logistics, autonomous trucking, last mile AV drones, last mile delivery services, etc. Okay, so we have to choose any one of these kind of activities for our startup activities. So it is on framework from which we can generate some kind of idea relevant to supply chain management. Next slide. So here there is 7 supply chain lessons from Steve Jobs. Hope you all know about Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, one of the founder of Apple, and he formulated 7 supply chain lessons to be followed by the people, those who are engaged in supply chain management. Okay, so according to him, customer comes first, cost cutting comes second. Okay, so it means that whatever the thing, we have to treat the customer as a first element. We should not think about other costs and other things in front of customer. Okay, without customer there is no business. So customer comes first. So cost cutting and other activities comes second. Okay, then second one is set impossible target. He is saying that set impossible target. Why to set impossible target? If you set impossible target, definitely you will move towards a particular target. So at least to 60 or 70. Okay. If you set very simple target, means even though you set it, it will not be a fruitful one for you. There will be no development. So try to set impossible target. Then 3, prioritize actions based on importance. So priority based on the importance of the activities. So we have to prepare a checklist, what to do first, second one, third one, fourth one, like that. We have to give the priority based on the importance of the activities. And then fourth one is adopt a process view organization. Okay, so everything should be viewed as a process which is connecting the goal of the organization. Okay, and fifth one is simplify product and process. So simplification of product and process. We should not complicate ourselves with the different ideas, different technological aspects, and various expert opinions. Okay, if you ask the experts, they will give a lot of opinions, but still we are supposed to simplify the product and process. And the sixth one is make radical change when necessary. Okay, radical change means a total change whenever it is necessary for completing your supply chain process. And last one is enhance relationship via face-to-face meeting. Okay, it is very important advice to the people who engage in the supply chain management. Try to meet the people face to face. Only meeting in the digital mode or telephone or some other mode. Better we have to face them face to face. It will be good for maintaining or enhancing the relationship. So these are all the seven lessons or 7 points given by the one of the business giant Steve Jobs regarding the supply chain. Okay, next slide. So most of us will think that, sir, why I have to take a startup and I have to suffer a lot and like that. Okay, what is the need for me to become an entrepreneur like that? So here there's a comparison between an employee and entrepreneur. Okay, so as an employee, you can work something get away from. Okay, you can work and you will get some kind of salary for that. And when you are in an entrepreneurial life, you work something to be excited about. Okay, so what all the benefit you are getting out of your entrepreneurial activity, it will give you some kind of excitement in your life. Okay, then serious effort, something to do for a short period of time regarding the employee who is working for a company. But at the same time, as an entrepreneur, a serious effort is something to do all the time. Okay, you will be engaging yourself all the time towards your business, and what are all the profit and other things come to you is totally enjoyed by the entrepreneur. Okay, and then support regarding employee, something they deserve. Support means their development in their career or some other thing. Okay, regarding entrepreneur, support is something they create. Okay, so they will take the business to the next level or something else. So the feeling of ownership far better than being an employee to some other company. Okay, and finally the income, something to be received immediately every month. You will be receiving a particular money when you are an employee. But if you are an entrepreneur, something to be earned later. Even though in the initial stage the profit may be low, the later stage of the business, the profit hikes, and at that time you will be the king of your own business. Okay, so there will be no limitation for income regarding the entrepreneur. So these are all the various points to be compared. Why I have to become an entrepreneur instead of becoming employee to some other company like that. Okay, next slide. So factors motivating the entrepreneurs. So these are all the some factors which motivate the entrepreneurs. Some factors are internal factors and some factors are external factors. So regarding the internal factors, desire to do something new, even though we are having a good education. Um, some people are desire to do something new. They want to prove themselves to the world. Okay, so that kind of drive, which is an internal factor, and educational background. Okay, they are having a very good education relevant to business or management or entrepreneurship or commerce. Definitely, that kind of mindset will influence your entrepreneurial activities. And business experience in same or related line, it may be also one of the internal factors to motivate the entrepreneur. Regarding the external factors, government assistance and support, availability of raw material and labor, encouragement from big business houses, promising demand for the product, and profit margins. So these are all the various external factors which is influencing from outside to become an entrepreneur. Today, government is having a lot of support, a lot of schemes. Both central government and the state government, they are having a lot of schemes to encourage the startups as well as the entrepreneurs. By seeing all those things, they maybe get motivated and they will start their own business. Okay, next slide. So this particular slide is giving why most of these startups fail. Okay, what is the root cause for failure of startups? Startups, I already told that is nothing but an idea. Okay, so those idea can be converted into a successful business later with the help of the stakeholders. But most of the startups fail because of various reasons. Okay, according to the survey, 90% of the startups fail. Okay, why nearly 90% of the startups fail? What's the reason? On the surface, you can say they fail to find product, they fail to make money or raise money. The product may be.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Are you able to hear now?
Now is clear.
Clear. Okay. So most of the time, the product is not matching the customer requirements. Okay, even though our startup idea is very good, if it is not matching the customer requirements, definitely that product will meet a failure. Okay, this may be the basic reason on the surface. And other things are entrepreneurs don't have enough time, resources, or experience to make it work on time. Okay, the time factor is also playing an important role. And competition, sometimes most of the people have some kind of product is having some kind of competition, and people are not able to cope up with the competition. That may be the reason for a failure. And the investors are not interested in giving more and more fund to the particular product. That may be the reason. And some other reasons may be the startup service offering is not something that the market wants or needs. Startup teams are unable to build a product that is valuable for the target market fast enough. Startup teams fail to tell the story of their product accurately to reach their customers. Okay, so communication to the customers is very important. So what we are having as a product and how it will match their requirement, and that we have to communicate to the customers properly. That is one more important, very important point we have to note. And competitors is another important area where we have to manage our own competition and to be successful in our own startup. And most of the startup have not enough time to mature and self-sustain before they can hit desirable hit growth metrics that the current investor ecosystem favors. Okay, sometimes the external environmental factors and other things will not support the startup to be a successful one. That is one more reason. And finally, centralized space for startups to be established and their business strategy from the get go follow original visions, evolution, and scale up with self-awareness and control must be there. Okay, so starting a business or thinking about the business is easy, but establishing a business or implementing those ideas or converting those ideas into a fruitful product is a little bit tough. Okay, so we have to think about that. And I think this is the last slide of my presentation. And now I want to open the floor for some kind of discussion with the participants. You can ask any question relevant to the topic. I will give my answer at my best.
So I will start with my question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Since you are from entrepreneurship department, what kind of support you are giving for the startups or new entrepreneurs?
Okay. Actually, the startups having a lot of support from the central government as well as the state government. Okay. In central government, they are having support from the banks. Just a minute, I am having a small data regarding that. I will take the data and I will give you the details. Just a minute.
Okay.
Sabari?
Just a minute. So I want to discuss about this scheme called as Mudra from Government of India. It's a very good support from the central government towards the startups, various startups in India. Actually, they are having a lot of schemes under this Mudra, and starting from the minimum financial support of 50,000 rupees up to 10 lakhs, they are giving a support to the different kind of startups. And 50,000 to 5 lakhs, it's 50,000 is one kind of scheme, and another scheme is called as from 50,000 to 5 lakhs, and the third scheme they are providing from 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Okay, and the eligibility for getting all these kind of support from the central government it's not just based on your education. It is based on the idea or the business plan you are providing to the banks, the lead banks. Based on those ideas, whether your idea is really fruitful, government is ready to extend their support regarding the loan in this Mudra scheme. So Mudra scheme is a very popular scheme today, and it is serving more than 20% of the population of our country to start their own business. Any other question?
Yes, sir. Another question from audience side.
Yes.
The slide shows that most of the startups fail in the earlier stage.
Yes.
So government has provided a lot of support to start new venture. After launching their business, if any problem arises, to resolve that issues, any kind of supports available, sir?
Yeah, definitely. Government is having a lot of institutions to support the entrepreneurs, and some institutions are giving financial institutions. Some other institutions are called as training institutions. Okay, those training institutions will give some kind of training before starting the business, and they will follow up with the entrepreneurs. And if they try, if their business is fail, or they are moving towards sudden end of the business, definitely they will hold the hands of the particular entrepreneur, and they will support. There is various organizations in government to handle the sick units also. Okay, so a lot of provisions are there, and government is encouraging the startups, as well as they are supporting the startups and each and every stage. Okay, so there is a lot of schemes and training institutions available in India.
Another question, sir. After COVID,
Okay.
what kind of startup problems most of the companies facing?
Okay, so after COVID, we can divide the era into two: pre-COVID and post-COVID. And if you take pre-COVID, everything we do physically. Okay, physically we can move to various places and we can do the business in a physical manner. After COVID, the thing is everything is done in the digital way. Okay, in that sense, it is a little bit difficult to manage the things. And what I recommend is after COVID, you can think about a lot of applications, digital applications regarding the startups. Okay, very popularly we know the apps. Apps means applications. So these apps can be developed regarding the various activities, and through that app you can operate your business, your own business. So that may be a very good idea after this COVID, because we don't know when the things will get normal, and we are living in a new normal. So we have to shift our own idea from the physical format to the digital format. That may be the good uh, progressive idea at this situation.
Sure, sir. And the Government of India keep on changing the registration formality of the new business units.
Okay.
And what kind of problems a layman can experience while starting a business?
Okay. See, when you are starting a business, if you are having confidence over the idea of your own business, definitely that idea will be supported by the central government or state government. Okay, and registration formalities and other things, there will be no much big difference in the process. They may be changing some small maybe things maybe into the digital format. So government want to put everything in a single digital format. Because of that, they may be changing some kind of maybe the procedures regarding the registration of your company or some other startups. But it's the interest of the entrepreneur to learn everything and then enter into the business. Okay, that shows the development, that shows the real interest of the particular person towards any startup or any business. Okay, we should not say that I don't know, I am not able to understand this like that. We have to learn. Okay, learning about the entire thing about that particular business and then stepping into that particular business will be good.
Sir,
One
another
more thing is
question.
government will give guidelines only. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay,
government
sir.
will not take they will not spoon feed us with a lot of things. They will give guidelines only, and as an entrepreneur we have to take initiative and we have to think about the further progress and we have to move forward. Okay.
Okay, sir. In earlier history, some of these startups developed in a rapid manner, and very
Okay.
soon that procured by some other Jain companies.
Okay.
So why is happening, sir?
See, actually, it is also kind of business. Okay, selling your own startup to some other giants, it's also business. For example, you know very well about this Byju's. Byju, a startup, started in a very simple manner, and today it is the number one. Uh, it is the number one.
Sir, unable to hear you, sir.
Okay. Uh, you very well know about Byju's. Okay, so Byju started as a very simple and humble company in India, and today it is number one app. Okay, in the learning platform. Okay, Baiju Ravindran is the person who is named behind that particular app, Baiju's learning app. Uh, Actually, in 2011, this person started a small learning app focus on 12th standard students. Okay, actually, Baiju Ravindran is a mathematics teacher, and he started to focus on 12th standard students. And in 2014, they have launched a competitive. They have started an app relevant to the competitive examinations and other things. And in 2015 only, Baiju's learning app launched. Over 2 million children come on board within 3 months. It was a big hit among the learners, and it becomes the first Asian company to receive investment from Chan Zuckerberg Initiative in 2016. Okay, and they have started to launch not only for the 12th standard, for all the standards. Okay, and very popularly, you know very well, the brand ambassador for Byju's is Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, and this company is recently purchased, or not purchased completely, partially purchased by a very popular company. Very popular company, that is the um, Walt Disney. Okay, so Walt Disney is a very popular brand or company, you know very well. So Disney, they want to collaborate with Byju's and they want to develop an animated oriented apps for the education field. Okay, so they are having a collaboration, or they purchased most of the shares of the Byju's, and they want to do a big business. Okay, so at this junction, Byju is not losing anything. Okay, they are selling, or they are selling their shares to another giant for a big price only. It's a profit for the company only. Okay, so developing an app and selling to some other people, those who can take that into a different level, it is also kind of business. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And another question. A startup, some of the startups started with the motive of selling it only. Why they
Yes.
started in that way? Instead of becoming a large venture, in the beginning itself, they have a mindset of selling it for the better price.
Yes. So actually, every business is having an incubation period. Okay, incubation period means a certain time period to get establishment of that particular business. Okay, so this is the area where most of the people fail. Okay, so those who are very strong in that area, they can start a business, they can develop to certain area, maybe 2 or 3 years, and they can sell that particular business to somebody else for a big price. Okay, it is also kind of business. Okay, those who are not able to cope up with the initial stage can get that those kind of business, and they can develop or invest further. Okay, so it is a kind of business also. It is like taking a tuition to the poor learner or slow learner, right?
Yes, sir. Another question, sir. There is a myth in business world that is, if you are coming from a business background, you can shine in the business. Otherwise, you cannot get success in the business.
Hmm.
Is that true? Is there anything
No,
like this?
no, it is not like that. See, if you take Ambani family, Dhirubhai Ambani's family is not related to any kind of business before Dhirubhai Ambani, okay, who is the father of Mukesh and Anil Ambani, right? And Dhirubhai Ambani established Reliance Industries, and today, you know very well, they are the number one in almost all the business. It may be a communication, it may be a retailing or some other area, they are number one. Okay. See, they are not having a family business. Before one generation only, they have started the business. And it is carried over by the next generation, that is Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani. Even in this case, Mukesh Ambani is very successful, but Anil Ambani is not successful. Okay, so from this example, you can very easily understand the success of the business depends upon the caliber of the individual only, not because of generations or some other family business earlier. Okay.
Thank you, sir. We have Dr. Venkateshwaran with us. He is also from entrepreneurship cell, and
Okay.
he is having any questions, he can ask. Dr. Venkateshwaran, sir.
Okay.
Uh, Morning, Sivakumar.
Thank you, Angreswaran.
Morning, Sabri. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. Sivakumar, sir, for this COVID period, a lot of startups are having only ideas itself. So they are struggling for getting more fund.
Okay.
For particularly educational institutions, we are getting more from fund from DST and NIMET projects. But due to this COVID, this year they are not providing any fund till now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is the future for this type of thing if it is COVID is going to be continued? Because in abroad they are saying second wave, third wave. So what India is going to do, what central government is going to do regarding this funding?
See, actually, funding is the biggest issue today for the central government as well as the state government. Even for running the educational institutions, especially the universities, the government is limiting their own fund. Okay, they are not releasing the fund as pre-COVID situation. The main reason is most of the things are done in the digital format. Okay, so there is no need for any physical presence or something else. So since it's a COVID period, you cannot go for any kind of research activity in field. Okay, so the government is thinking that there is no necessity for such a kind of large fund for the institutions. I hope the government will develop a suitable strategy to release the funds in appropriate way as per the requirements of the educational institutions.
Okay.
And this is one idea which is coming in my mind.
So, Kumar, one more question.
Yeah.
So still we have no idea when that schools are going to be opened in full stretch.
Yeah.
The schools and colleges are highly reliant, or these stationary industries are highly reliant schools, both vice versa. So if the school opening or college opening is continuously prolonged in infinity date, what these industries and the supply chain is going to be affected?
Definitely, there will be no demand for these kind of products. Okay, stationery and other relevant products to the education field, there will be no demand. Okay, for example, usually students used to get a note and write the examinations or lessons manually. Okay, this is the thing
Yes.
normally happen. Now, through online class, what they are doing assignments in the system itself, computer itself. There is no much need for paper or pen, okay, or any other supportive things like pencil or rubber or something else. Okay, so this is the new way we transform the education field, and definitely people those who are in that field, maybe the stationery and allied industry, they have to shift their idea to the digital format. Okay, at the one side we are seeing such a kind of things are not having much demand. In another side, for digital oriented products, the demand is increasing. Okay, for example, smartphones or any other aid which is useful for the online classes. Okay, supportive materials, storage devices, and other things having heavy demand. They may be thinking in as an alternative in this COVID period, and they can also maintain their own business, maybe the stationery or some other business, in a simple way. And later, when the things get normal, they can go for the traditional or other business which is established earlier.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Shivas.
Okay, okay, thank you, Venkateshwaran.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your experience with us.
Okay,
It's
okay,
wonderful, wonderful information you have shared.
thank
And
you.
on behalf of Department of Management Studies, PSNA College of Engineering and Technology, and all the participants, I express my sincere thanks for the for accepting our request and joining with us. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank
all
you,
the
Sabarirajan.
participants.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Shivkumar, sir.
Sabarirajan and Venkateshwaran and the team members of MBA Department of PSNA College of Engineering Technology. And I extend my sincere